Oh. Hello, people of Uber and Lyft and all the good stuff. We are live sitting here in Burlington, Vermont. It is 12:48, about 12 minutes before the Uber CEO live stream comes on. And let's sit here and watch it. Alright, get some liquid refreshment. Some cool air in here. Should be interesting. Hopefully they've got some good news for us drivers. While we're waiting for Dara to show up and give us the update, talk about my last couple of weeks of Ubering. They have been challenging. Had a lot of car problems. Had this recurring electrical problem that was causing the car to have a no crank, no start situation very occasionally. And also it's causing my stereo to cut out, my AC to cut out occasionally, and occasionally I could hear a little hitch in the transmission. You could feel it. But so yesterday, well, it all came to a head last Friday. There I went out, had a good day, had some long trips, ended up in the ski areas there, Smuggler's Notch, out in Stowe, Trap Family Lodge, Bolton Valley. It was a long day of ski resorts, but by the end of it we were getting some snow and it was coming down good, and the drive home was very dangerous, risky. It was not a fun ride. I saw two rigs off the road, a Tahoe and some little beater car, just in the distance from Elmore to Wrightsville Dam. It's like 20 miles, two cars off the road. It was a treacherous night for driving, and so I want to go upstairs and I take, chill out for the night and ready to get up the next morning, go to work, go, Saturday, good day. And I get up, go down, and yeah, hot rod don't start. No crank, no start. None of the tricks that I'd been doing to trick the thing into working for the past month when it failed, nothing worked. So it was just dead. And Sunday, same thing, dead. Then Monday morning, it was dead, and I went up to my mechanic, and he said, yeah, we'll get it in today. And I'm down at my place, I'm waiting to hear from him. About 1:30, sun beating on the car, so I'm gonna go down and check that hot rod out. Turn the key, nothing. I'll do it one more time. Turn the key, vroom, the old junk started up. Wonderful. So I drove it up to the mechanic, and it took about 6 hours of troubleshooting and messing around to figure out what the hell is going on with the wiring in this hot rod. And it turned out to be down in the relay box, which sits down in the left inner fender, and all the water and snow and crap that comes off the road goes right up in there and gets on those relays. It was retarded. It's a retarded setup. Thanks, Dodge. And yeah. But now today it seems to be running good. Stereo still cut out a couple times, but it's running, and I know those rotted pieces that got replaced yesterday needed to be replaced. I'm just hoping the recurring electrical problem is fini. I hope. Done. Over. I don't want no more. And alright, we've got 12:54, 5 minutes, and we should be catching the Uber Livestream, hopefully. Hope he's got some good news for us. And I don't know what other big news I got. I don't know. Somehow Mid-State Dodge has possibly managed to find me a loan. I have to go tomorrow and check out some rigs. I told them what I was looking for. You know, something that rides real nice, something that's real high quality for my riders. Instead of you know, those little green cars, all right, but it's a little bit of a rattle trap. It's got wicked high mileage. Kind of want to make it my backup rig. Let's see how that goes. And if that falls through somehow, I'll continue with my original plan, which is to drive the wheels off this the next 5 or 6 months and try to save $1,000 a month, which means I need to make about $1,750 to $750 to $1,000 a week to pull out $1,000 a month to put towards a car. And yeah, and on Craigslist I see all kinds of cars, nice cars, for anywhere from like $7,000 down to like 4 or 5 decent cars, ones that I know I could get a good year out of. And so if I have to go that way, that's fine too. Then this one will become the backup car. The new car would be the primary rig, and then every 6 to 8 months or so I just trade in or pick up another rig as soon as it's ready to roll, because it takes about 8 days before I can drive it for Uber because of the registration. Vermont snail mails it to you, and I haven't quite figured out how to speed that up at all. So even if I get a new car, you know, I still have to drive the old one for about a week before the other one's ready to go, and then the old primary becomes secondary, and then the old secondary gets reconned and resold. And every one of these cars will be running really well because I'm not going to sell junks to people. 12:57, 3 minutes. See if this kicks off the way it's supposed to. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, we got tunes. Get some volume on that, possibly. Come on, Mr. K. Let's have a cool live stream. Lots of good announcements. All the haters and negative people on YouTube, man, they get to you after a while. I just want to hear some positive stuff. So I dig this job. I like doing this. Sure Fred's retail.
Welcome, Uber driver partners. We'll be starting in 2 minutes. Please take your seats. Reminder, please be sure to save some questions for the question and answer period following. Also, can you please silence your phones during the presentation? If you could silence your phones. Thank you.
What's on my phone? There, let's see what we can do here. Uh-oh. I think I just lost that. Yeah.
Phones.
What the heck? Hopefully my phone don't go off. Could be a way to do that. I wonder if airplane mode will do that.
Fred drives because he wants to stay connected, because he wants to talk to people, because he wants to feel 82 years young. And from the feedback that we've gotten from our riders, it's clear that our riders love talking to him as well. A couple of comments about Fred. One rider told us that Fred is the most energetic 80-year-old that they've ever met. And another comment is that a person could learn a lot about life just by chatting with Fred. Now, another person that we could all learn from is Galesh. Galesh is a driver for us in India, and she has been the breadwinner for her family for 15 years since she lost her husband 15 years ago. After taking on a few odd jobs around, she started driving for Uber. And driving with Uber allows her to make ends meet, and it also allows her to take care of her ailing mother, as well as her 18-year-old son. She's a partner. She said to us that I might not get things easily, but I don't give up easily. Speaking of not giving up easily, the last story I wanted to share with you is a special one for me. It's about Lei. Lei fled Burma about a decade ago to seek political asylum in the UK with his family. And that's special for me because my family actually left Iran almost 40 years ago to seek asylum in the United States, and we were lucky enough to be in a country at a time where we were welcomed as well. Lei actually viewed England as a place where he could rebuild his life after losing everything, but it didn't come easy. And after 2 long years, he won the right to stay in England only after the Prime Minister of England stepped in to allow him to do so. Lei now drives with Uber. He likes it because it allows him to spend time with his family, but also share his story as well with his riders. And he has a 491 rating, and the riders leave him absolutely amazing comments. We're so grateful that Lei is a part of our community. Now, driving doesn't define who you are, but what you do does matter to riders, to the cities in which we operate in, to our company, and to me. And I know it hasn't always felt that way. You're the heart of the Uber experience, but somewhere along the line, as we grew as a company, we lost sight of that. We focused too much on growth and not enough on the people who are driving that growth. We called you partners, but we didn't really treat you as partners. We made mistakes, and our biggest mistake was not making your experience a priority, because your experience is what defines the rider experience. defines how they feel about our product, and you are our partners, and you've been with us all along the way, and somehow we lost sight of that. Now, we needed to do better, and we realized that we needed to do better. And the programs like the 180 Days of Change were a huge and important step forward for us. So many people at our company came together, and over 6 months, we launched nearly 40 new features that reach drivers all around the globe. Some of them big, some of them small, but every single one of them were features that you asked for and we listened for. You told us that you wanted your time to be valued, so we introduced paid wait time. You said that it didn't feel like you were supported all the time, so we introduced the 24/7 phone support whenever, wherever you needed it. You told us many, many times, I'm told, and this was even before I joined, that you wanted to be able to receive tips directly through the app. So we built it, we made the change. And since we launched tipping on the app, driver partners all around the globe have great success. It's something that we're very, very happy with. Now, 180 Days of Change and programs like it were an important step forward, and to some extent were a correction of what we did in the past. And after that 180 days that program was finished, we knew that our work was far from done. We knew that we needed to go beyond just correcting some of the features that you had asked for, and we needed to improve fundamentally as a company, and we needed to fundamentally improve our product and experience with you to truly now not only call you a partner, but treat you as a partner. And so I'm going to introduce Yuki to the stage to talk a bit about what the path forward looks like, and you're going to see a product that we have built through months and months of effort, but more importantly, a product that we built through real dialogue with you, and a product that I think is going to be a huge, huge improvement over what you have now because we worked with you to build it. So with that, let's get a look. Yuki, come on over. Thank you.
Thank you, Dara. Hi, everyone. My name is Yuki, and I work on the driver experience. And before I start to talk about the future of the driver experience, I actually wanted to start with this number, 8.5 million. It's actually just about the number of hours in a millennium, 1,000 years. But the amazing thing is, it also happens to be the amount of time all of you, as drivers, spend on the platform every single day. Together, you spend 1,000 years every day with this little companion right here, the driver app. That's a lot of time to be spending with anything, let alone an app.
Yeah.
So when we started thinking about the future of the driver experience, we knew we had to start here, the app that all of you use. For those of you who remember, this was what the driver app looked like a little over 3 years ago. I know there are some of you in this room today who remember using it way back when. And in 2015, we made some improvements. After years of having to go to a website to check for important information like your earnings and your ratings, finally you could do it from within the app. And as time passed, we added more features, like destination trips, a bunch of different incentives and opportunities, quests and the ability to track them,
I don't see any of that stuff
with tons of information, tons and tons of information. And while these features we added were hopefully useful, I think some of you will agree that they start to get a little bit out of hand. Take the pickup, for example, arguably the most stressful part of driving. And what started out pretty simple got complex over time. We introduced Uber Eats, and with that, the ability to deliver food. We started asking you how many riders are getting into the car and giving you detailed delivery notes. And soon enough, we just didn't have any space for the map anymore. And we had crammed so much into this app that it became difficult to use. We knew that we were way past the point of small changes. We needed a completely new app.
Uh-oh.
So that's what we built.
Uh-oh.
Let's take a sneak peek. This is the new driver app. And I'm excited to walk you through this today. And the way I'm going to do it is to put the current app on the left-hand side and the new app on the right. So let's go to the current app. One of the things you've told us is that the most important thing to you is earnings. You open the app, and what you want to do is check up on how much you made that last trip, how much you've been making today, this week, and how you're doing against your incentives. And the frustrating thing is, this information can sometimes be all over the place. It's in that feed. You have to dig a little bit deeper to see your weekly earnings and how much progress you've made against your quest. So in the new app, we put earnings front and center. We have an all-new earnings tracker at the very top that updates after every trip. And when you tap on it, you can swipe through your daily totals, your weekly totals, and you can see how close you are to completing your quest. And you can even choose which one of these come first. Tracking your earnings is important, but just as important is finding new earnings opportunities. And to do this, you use the map. As you can see, it can often be cluttered and kind of hard to read. So in the new app, we cleaned up the map quite a bit. When there are a bunch of different opportunities and you zoom out, we make sure that they cluster together so they're easier to see. And when you see that one opportunity you're interested in, you can just tap on it and learn more. And most importantly, you can now navigate to it, something you weren't able to do before. Thank you, thank you. Now, the other thing on the map we cleaned up is how we show surge. Today, it's basically this big red film that covers the entire city. And so what we did is actually we put surge underneath the roads so that you can easily see things like street names and key landmarks. Thank you, thank you. And my favorite part is that we no longer show surge in the ocean. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we've never had anyone requesting from out in the waters. All right, so this is actually a screenshot from a little over a year ago when I first went driving. And when I went online, nothing was happening for 15 to 20 minutes, and I wasn't sure if Uber knew I was online. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to see a rider, and I certainly didn't know what to do next. And I even called up some of my friends back in the office just to check if my account was okay. And the only thing the app was telling me down there in the feed was how to save for retirement, all before I made a single penny on the platform. So we wanted to change that. Oops. A lot of drama right here. I have no more surge jokes, so. Wait for a crew to get it up. All right. So this is what the screenshot looked like when I first went driving. And so we wanted to change that. So now when you're in a slow area, we proactively let you know if we think there's a better place for you to be. We give you insights about the world around you rather than leaving you wondering what to do next. Okay, let's say that you're now on your way to pick up a rider, and as you know, this is what it looks like today. And we made some improvements to this experience just to make it a little bit less stressful. So the first one is minor, but we heard your feedback. We're now no longer just showing your ETA to your pickup, we're also showing you the distance to your pickup, the 3.1 miles there, just for a little bit of extra context. And second, when your rider messages you, now you can respond with just a tap with a number of quick replies to choose from, like, I'm stuck in traffic. And the last change addresses a huge pain point, those times when you can't start or end a trip because you have no internet connectivity. And yes, and it's a pretty terrible feeling. You just have to keep driving and driving until your phone finally has reception. So that won't happen in the new app. Now you just start the trip or end the trip, and both you and your rider can be on their way. And the way it works is we actually just take your GPS location, which your phone has without internet, and we save it for later. And next time we have a connection, we just send it up.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. All right.
Thank you. So those are some of the changes we made for when you're driving. But when you're not, you're probably looking at all this information on the feed that we just talked about earlier. And you told us that it can be confusing, how it's hard to know what's new, what's not. That message that you saw 3 days ago that you thought was pretty important or interesting, now you can no longer find because it's completely gone. So now we've just made it dead simple. You have an inbox of sorts for your notifications, and it's just in chronological order. We keep track of what you've seen and what you haven't, and hopefully this will feel much more organized. The other thing you're probably doing when you're offline is probably checking on your ratings. And this is what it looks like in the current app, and this is my screenshot, by the way, of my ratings, and I only have 21 5-star trips. I know all of you do that in a single day. But in the new app, what we wanted to do is show you just more than just these numbers. We show all your accomplishments on Uber, your lifetime trips, the compliments that you've gotten, the heartwarming thank you notes that your riders have received. All of this is much easier to see now. And finally, for those of you new to driving on Uber, we know that it can be pretty difficult to learn about all these different features and keep up with them. And today we offer a few articles here and there, but that's about it. So now we're building out an entire guide with a bunch of different videos showing you the basics about the app and how many of these features work. We want to make sure that you feel prepared and confident before you're on the road. So that was a preview of the new app and some of its features. And many, if not all of them, were based on your ideas and your feedback. So thank you for that. This new app is special not just because of what we built, but because of how we built it, together with you. And we want to show you a little bit about what that process looked like, so we put a quick video together for you. Let's take a look.
Bom dias. Seja bem-vinda.
Obrigada. Vamos lá. 300 meter enter the road about and target of exit onto Jalan Imam Bonjol toward Monas.
What the hell? My car is flying.
This is the first opportunity I really had to, really interact.
It's hard to explain when a screen freezes sometimes and where it froze at.
It's exciting to have some input on the app and, the way that Uber's working. Being a driver, you like to be heard.
What's the 11,800 price?
The time, yeah.
The time?
Yeah.
But 6 minutes is the time.
It's like an intermission or something.
Yeah, 11.8 saya belum tahu ini.
So this is the most important thing for drivers, which is need to find what is the incentive. When he finally found the button for it, took him to a website that failed to load. And obviously from his face, you see that he loves this.
जब हम लोग कस्टमर को स्टार्ट ट्रिप देते हैं पहला वाला था स्क्रीन ऐसा करना स्लाइड करना अगर टच अभी जो है वो सिर्फ टच होने से स्टार्ट होता है
One thing that's easy to forget when you're looking at data and you're spending time in the office is the people that you're impacting and the stories behind them.
Juga perlu dibantu, butuh pekerjaan. Akhirnya ya saya turunin mobil gitu. Nah, karena teman itu berjalan tidak maksimal, akhirnya saya cobain.
Maksudnya bantu arsip jadi adminnya itu, jadi akhirnya saya dinaikin jadi headnya gitu kan, untuk bagian warehouse dan bagian office-nya.
I had my daughter like a year and a half ago, and I love being with her. So I didn't want to go back to work. I was like, no, I'm not going back to work. I can't leave her with anybody.
We are there with Uber, and Uber is also with us. You show something more, even we give much more from our side. If you give us a little consideration, I think it will definitely be helpful.
I think we as a company have to do a lot more, and so I come from a perspective of not what we've done great so far, is more of a perspective of what more we need to do.
We're taking their questions, we're helping them download the app, we're doing this together, and they see that, and it doesn't end here, it actually starts today, so what happens next is what matters.
This is what we need. It really, like the 180 days of change is real.
Wow, it's crazy to see the last 3 or so months condensed into just 3 minutes. Hi everyone, my name is Kim, and like you, I don't sit in an office in San Francisco. I work here on the operations team in LA, and it's my job to make sure that the folks in SF actually take into account your experiences in the real world. What you saw in that video was an entirely new approach to building, and it's something we should have been doing all along. You told us what you wanted, and we listened. We built the new app alongside you. We also launched a beta program, which we called Building Together, so we could really understand what the app would feel like driving during rush hour in Cairo, or delivering food with bad connection in Bangalore, or sitting in traffic on the 405 in LA. In November 2017, nearly 500 drivers and delivery partners all around the world joined the beta program and started testing the new app, from the US all the way to India. We kicked it off by inviting our beta drivers to our green light hubs, where engineers on our teams helped install the beta apps on their phones. And we walked them through a presentation like this one. They were excited, skeptical, full of questions. Many, many questions. And there was a lot of time for us to listen. And drivers had a lot to say. They told us about everything from where they come from, to their families, and to how we can continue to remove the stress from driving. This was true everywhere. In Sao Paulo, in Bangalore, and yes, here in Los Angeles. Many drivers ended the event by taking their first trip on the new app with a member of our team. And for the first time ever, we had a beta app out in the wild in the hands of 500 people. But it didn't end there. And now I'm going to invite Haider to the stage, who will tell us about what happened next.
Thank you, Kim, and hello, Los Angeles. My name is Haider, and I lead engineering for the driver experience team. It's great to be back in LA, my hometown, to talk about some of the things we've been working on over the last year. What you saw in that video was new for us. We haven't always built together. We knew the feedback that we would get throughout this process would be crucial and critical to the future of the app. So we thought long and hard about different ways we can surface and collect feedback from you. But a typical beta wasn't going to cut it for us. We wanted to step it up a notch. We truly wanted to understand how the app performed in various cities and different circumstances for different drivers. We wanted to know when it worked and met expectations and when it fell short. So we came up with a few ways to listen and to learn. Drivers did ride-alongs with members of our team and got to share their experience firsthand. They shared ideas over lunch and gave their perspective on the new design. In many cities, drivers invited us into their homes, giving us a stronger purpose of what we are doing and why. Some of them even became pen pals over WhatsApp, and they told us everything and anything about the app, the good, the bad, and yes, even the ugly. As drivers used the app, they were able to file bug reports. So for engineers, a bug is basically anything that goes wrong in the app. Drivers were able to file these bug reports right from the app, and these would come to our team of engineers to investigate. Over the course of the last 5 months, nearly 4,000 bugs were filed by drivers in beta cities. That may seem like a lot, and I'll admit, it was a lot of bugs, but that's the purpose of the beta. It's to find and fix bugs. And the worst type of bug is the one that's hard to find or lacks enough information for us to fix. So this was extremely crucial for us to get the app in this state, and we're very thankful to drivers in the beta cities for doing this. These are just a few examples of how we collected feedback. But I'm sure you're wondering, well, what did you guys do with that feedback? Our team on the ground took what they were hearing from drivers and shared it with teams in San Francisco in the form of what we call driver stories like these. These stories quickly went viral within the company. Suddenly, our engineers felt deeply connected to what was happening to a driver in a given city. They realized the work that they do has a profound effect on the ground, that a minor issue in the app could lead to a larger issue in a driver's life. And they were extremely excited to fix what was broken, and we fixed a lot of things. The feedback we got and these stories had real change. My favorite example is actually something I got to witness firsthand when I traveled to Egypt to meet with drivers in Cairo. Some drivers felt that the way we had designed the earnings tracker was inappropriate because it could lead to something they call hasad. Hasad in Arabic literally means envy, and in Egyptian and some Middle Eastern cultures, drawing attention to your good fortune can bring bad luck. While we had designed the tracker to be hidden when a rider is in your car, naturally, what we failed to realize beforehand was some drivers would feel uneasy about the potential of somebody outside the car catching a glimpse of what you've made. So we shared this feedback with the team, and people jumped on it and tried to come up with different solutions, and we ended up redesigning it so that a driver can hide their earnings whenever they wanted to. This may seem like a small change, but it's the small things that start to add up, and taken all together, they can make or break your experience. So we took each one of these very, very seriously. We're excited about the new app, and we want it to work for everyone. That's why today, we'll start rolling it out gradually over the coming months. And during this rollout, we're going to continue to listen, gather feedback, and make changes based on what we hear. We're also going to continue to test with it and drive on the app, because that's our way to ground our work in your experience, and to feel what you feel, and to make the app as seamless as possible. On that note, I'd like to share a video of a team member who took it for a spin. Let's take a look.
Well, we're here for me to check out the driver app in action. All right, let's roll.
Let's roll.
Show me what you got.
Yeah.
On our way. 3, all right, so I'll accept it.
Hello, come on in. How's it going?
Start.
Oh, there you go.
How does it feel to be in the Uber driver's seat?
It feels good. So this is my first time driving in San Francisco, so that's wigging me out a little bit. Okay, I'm going left here. I apologize. I think I missed my turn. Oh, I missed again. Oh my God. Let's see if this is correct. Oh my God, look at that. That's horrible. Should I just drop you off here? All right, here we go. Well, have a great day.
Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
Co-pilot. How are you?
Good.
Oh no. It told me to go right, and now it's telling me to go straight.
We're picking up Daniel.
Does this start?
You don't start not until you pick him up.
Yeah. Should that be there?
3, 2, 1.
Cha-ching.
Charging for wait time, we get paid. All right.
Yes. All right, now we can relax. So this one, it shows that I'm supposed to drop you off on the left side.
Not drop off, pick up.
But it should have routed me differently, don't you think?
They see us.
Let's see, I'm going to end the Uber X, Daniel.
Because you gotta know, you can't drop us off on Market Street. We need to.
This is a nice Uber X car, by the way.
Yeah. You're just supposed to know turning, yeah.
To understand what drivers are going through and the look and the feel. We get it all the time on the rider side, but I think we've got to connect more on the driver side as a team and as a company. I have to admit it was really cool using the app, but I was supremely overconfident going into using this thing. I drive with 2 teenagers and twin 5-year-old boys, and I'm like, what's a big deal? I've got like a little village behind me when I drive every day, but just to pay attention to the rider and the app and the directions, it was a lot tougher than I thought. So respect to you for what you do every day. And when I missed that turn, I totally panicked. It was a disastrous turn. Totally, and I was like, if this was a rider who wasn't getting a salary from me, he'd be pissed off at me. So it was cool having that experience, and I hope to have that experience more. Listen, when I came to Uber, the board brought me on because they wanted change. That's why I came in, and when I presented to the board about what my intentions were, they were that we need to change as a company, and not just change what we're doing, but also to listen more and listen to the communities in which we operate, the cities in which we operate, the regulators with whom we partner, and especially you, our driver partners. And one of the first things that I did when I went out there in every city that I visited was to have driver partners, to have driver forums and talk with our driver partners. And it was amazing how much I learned. I was amazed at how much you know about the systems, our operation, our product, how we work. Some of you scared the crap out of me, but I got it, you know, and I understood that I had a lot to learn as a CEO here, and we had a lot to learn as a company. And what I'm really excited about is that when the product team, who really have put their heart and soul into this product, they put a huge amount of work into it, they went in there wanting to build this product for you and wanting to partner up with you and listen to you. And they've listened to a lot of the folks in this room. You've been kind of co-authors of this product, and hundreds of other drivers all around the world have really been co-authors of this product that we're going to launch together. And while the app isn't going to be perfect on day one, I can commit to you that this is actually what excites me about this product, is that it is a platform that we have built that through feedback from you and through listening to you is going to improve day after day after day. And just as we built this product as a platform that can improve, what I'll commit to you as a company is that we too are going to improve day after day after day, and it's going to be about listening to you. It's going to make sure that you're not just that you're not just heard, but you're listened to, that you're treated as partners in more than just name, and that as you join us on the platform and as we build product for you, driving gets a little less stressful, safer, easier, and hopefully more productive for you as you continue to partner up with us as we build our products and as we build our platform on a global basis. So thank you for what you've done for us, and we hope that we're going to deserve the partnership that we talk about going forward, and we think this is just the beginning. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Please stick around. In just a few minutes, we'll have Q&A time with Dara and Harry Campbell, the resident rideshare guy.
Oh, nice. So we got a little intermission here. Oh, well, so nothing about pay yet. No pay raise, but so we got a new app coming. It's pretty cool, I guess. Some of the features sound pretty neat. We'll have to see it in action. And I guess, I bet you one of the first questions somebody asked Dara is going to be, when do we get a raise? No, that was pretty interesting. I wonder how long a break they're going to take. I've been streaming for a half hour here. Charge up my battery here pretty quick. Yep, sitting here at the airport. Yep, I'm still working. Stride. Little pole jumper. Up there. Uh-oh, I think I just froze up. Nope. I don't want to watch it again. Well, this thing's getting all wonky, so I guess I'm going to end this live stream and get back to work, because early auto. YouTube is not responding. That's fine, I'm on YouTube. All right, yep, so we're gonna call it. We're gonna end this thing, and maybe I'll have some more thoughts on it later on when I get home, once I watch Q&A. All right, guys, peace out. All right, let's end this.